I want to start with chilling new details that have come to light about Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Micky McCoy's wife just dropped leaked messages that could completely flip this whole Charlie Kirk story upside down. Now, word is that Erika Kirk is allegedly scrambling to keep her quiet, doing everything she can to stop the truth from spilling out. The leaked footage shows something off about Micky. Really off. And it looks like his own wife is done protecting him. She's ready to blow everything open. But here's the wild part. Erika allegedly doesn't want that to happen, and what she's doing to block it is straight up shocking. You came here for answers, right? So let's break down exactly what's about to unfold. You're going to see the leaked footage that's got everyone online losing their minds. You'll hear about timeline gaps that just don't make sense. You'll find out about a strange trip that went down just weeks before Charlie Kirk got shot, and people are seriously wondering if this was an inside setup. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to believe, but I'll show you what's out there. Because if these leaks are even partly real, they hint that people close to Charlie might have known something before the shooting. And honestly, the deeper I looked, the harder it got to ignore the truth. The stories just don't line up. The timelines just don't add up, and the silence from certain people, it's louder than anything they could ever say. So stay locked in, because what Micky McCoy's own wife allegedly leaked flips this whole situation on its head. Before we dig deeper, let's make sure we know who we're dealing with. Micky McCoy isn't just some random guy. He's Charlie Kirk's chief of staff at Turning Point USA. He was only 23 when Charlie got shot, and get this, he was standing right next to him when it happened. Now, I'm not going to rehash the full story of what happened to Charlie, since most people already know that part. Instead, let's talk about what Micky did right after the shot rang out.
So there it is. So that's his right-hand man, the chief of staff, Micky McCoy. The bullet rings out. Within a second, he turns around and walks away. Watch. There he goes. There he is, with the phone to his ear the whole way. And so that's what people
right-hand guy.
So that's what people are talking about. In fact, he kept walking. There they are, putting him in the SUV. There he is, still walking.
There's viral footage that captured his reaction, and it's nothing like what you'd expect. Instead of rushing to help his friend or hitting the ground like everyone else, Micky just calmly walked off, phone to his ear, like nothing happened. Watch that clip closely. People around him are screaming, ducking, running for cover, and Micky just strolls away, slow and steady, like he already knew what was about to go down. Now, I'm not saying he did, but that's exactly what it looks like. And that's why people started digging. And here's where it gets even crazier. After the shooting, everyone at Turning Point USA started calling Micky a hero. Not once, not twice, but every single time his name came up, that word followed. The amazing Micky McCoy, the brilliant Micky McCoy, the heroic Micky McCoy. That's how everyone started referring to him, like he was some kind of legend overnight. Even Candace Owens caught on and called it out. She asked, "Why does only Micky need an adjective before his name?" And honestly, that's a solid question. Think about how strange that would be in real life. Imagine if every time someone mentioned a friend, they said, "the spectacular John" or "the breathtaking Sarah," you'd definitely think something wasn't right. So why is everyone doing that for Micky? It's weird, and it makes people wonder what's really going on. Now, here's where things take a turn. Erika Kirk herself may have accidentally slipped up during her interview with Jesse Waters on Fox News. When Jesse asked how she found out Charlie had been shot, Erika explained she was at her mom's doctor's appointment. Her phone was on silent, she put it down, and when she picked it back up, Micky McCoy was calling her. She said he called within seconds of the shooting. Seconds! And that lines up perfectly with the viral footage we just mentioned. The clip showing Micky grabbing his phone right after the gunshot and calmly walking away while talking to someone. So Erika's story pretty much confirms it, right? Micky was on the phone right after Charlie got shot. But hold up, because Turning Point USA came out saying something totally different. Andrew Covid, the executive producer of The Charlie Kirk Show, dropped a video trying to clean up Micky's image. In that clip, Andrew insisted Micky wasn't on the phone at all. He claimed Micky only put his hands to his ears because the gunshot was insanely loud. He said Micky was just shell-shocked and that, yeah, maybe the phone was in his hand, but he wasn't using it. Now that's where things get messy, because both stories can't be true. Either Erika's being honest and Micky really did call her seconds after the shooting, which means that viral footage is exactly what it looks like, or Turning Point USA's version is the truth, and Micky never made that call. If that's the case, then Erika straight up said something false on national television. So who's lying here? Because you know how it goes. People who tell small lies usually end up telling bigger ones. Here's the wild part. It would be so easy for Micky to clear this whole thing up. All he's got to do is show his call logs. That's it. Just release the timestamps. Show who he called and when. It'd take 5 minutes tops and settle everything. But has he done it? Not a word. Total silence. And that silence? It's speaking louder than anything else right now. What comes next is the part that really made me stop and pay attention. Candace Owens dropped a serious bombshell in one of her videos. She pointed out that just weeks before Charlie's death, something strange went down. The McCoy's, Micky and his wife Eliza, took their very first family vacation with Charlie and Erika Kirk. Their first one ever. And this isn't just rumor. Eliza McCoy posted about it herself on Instagram. She wrote that they spent a few weeks together that summer, their first real family trip, saying they got super close. But here's where things get interesting. While on that vacation, the McCoys started filming the Kirks, not just snapping quick pics, but recording these deep, behind-the-scenes moments. You probably know the footage I'm talking about. It blew up online after Charlie passed. It shows Charlie walking hand in hand with his kids and Erika reaching out to hold his hand, a heartwarming clip that hit everyone right in the feels. But here's the kicker. Guess who filmed that? The McCoys. Now, Candace brought up a question that's been stuck in my head ever since. What made them start filming like that? Seriously, think about it. When you're on a family trip, who's usually behind the camera? It's one of your own family members, right? So why were the McCoys recording the Kirks so closely? In every family photo, someone's always missing. That's just how it goes, right? But on this vacation, the McCoys were behind the camera filming the entire Kirk family together. Like they somehow knew these moments needed to be saved. Was that pure coincidence? Were the McCoys just being overly thoughtful friends? Or was something else happening behind the scenes? And here's where it gets even creepier. Just 4 days before Charlie's death, Micky randomly decided to record Charlie during their trip to Korea. That clip ended up being the last footage ever taken of Charlie alive. 4 days before it all went down, and Micky just happened to film him? Come on, that timing feels way too perfect to be random. Now let's get into the leaks, because this is where everything explodes. Late one night, an account later linked to Micky McCoy's wife dropped something online. Screenshots, audio clips, private chats, no captions, no explanations, just 3 haunting words. They all knew. Within minutes, those screenshots spread everywhere, like wildfire. And what people found inside sent chills through everyone watching this unfold. The leaked images allegedly showed a private group chat, and the names in it? Micky McCoy, a few Turning Point USA members, and one contact labeled EK. Most people believe that stands for Erika Kirk. And if that's true, then this story just took a whole new turn. The messages weren't long, but they didn't have to be. Here's what they allegedly said. Everything is set. Keep calm if it happens. We've rehearsed this. Make sure cameras stay rolling. And then came the line that sent the whole internet spiraling. 4 chilling words. Erika already knows. Just 4 words, but they flipped everything upside down. Because if those messages are real, if Erika truly knew something before it went down, then what we all saw that day wasn't random chaos. It was planned, but that's not even the wildest part. Soon after, a voice memo dropped online. You can hear a woman's voice trembling saying, "I can't stay quiet anymore. This wasn't an accident." Many believe that voice belonged to Micky's wife. Others think it was a close friend trying to protect her. Either way, the tone was crystal clear. Fear mixed with guilt, like someone finally breaking under the weight of the truth. And here's where everything snaps into focus. The timestamps on those leaked messages matched almost perfectly with the viral footage of Micky picking up his phone seconds before the shooting. What everyone used to call a coincidence suddenly looked intentional. Reddit threads, TikTok clips, Twitter spaces, people everywhere started asking the same haunting question. What did Erika Kirk and the TPUSA team really know before the shooting? And once those leaks hit the web, everything went dark fast. Mikey's wife wiped her entire social media. Gone. Her friends locked their accounts down tight. The silence that followed, it spoke louder than anything she could have ever said. People close to her claim she was told to keep her mouth shut. Others say she's scared out of her mind, and then total silence. But here's the twist. While Mikey's wife vanished from the spotlight, Turning Point USA went into overdrive. They started pumping out nonstop content about Mikey, podcasts, interviews, press releases, all hyping up the incredible Micky McCoy. It didn't look like grief. It looked like strategy, like they were trying to smother the scandal with glowing PR, hoping to drown out the noise before it spread any further. In one video, you can even hear someone comforting Mikey, telling him not to stress about the crazy conspiracy stuff, to breathe, to stay calm. They call him a good kid and say Charlie had a strong team that took care of everything. But here's what doesn't sit right. When innocent people get accused of something serious, they usually fight back hard. They post receipts, sue for defamation, or at least demand corrections. So what has TPUSA done? Nothing. No lawsuits over the so-called false claims, no cease and desist orders, no official investigation, just this quiet, polished calm. And that same pattern keeps showing up. Deny, distract, disappear. I'm not saying it's a cover-up, but let's be real. It sure doesn't look clean. Something about this silence feels staged, like they're waiting for the public to forget. And Erika, if what's being said online is true, she's allegedly pulling every string she can to keep Mikey's wife from saying another word. The woman who shattered the silence? They want her quiet. But let's circle back to something Candace Owens noticed, because the more you think about it, the stranger it sounds. Every single time someone from Turning Point USA mentions Micky McCoy, they can't help but throw in an adjective. Every time. The amazing Micky McCoy. The brilliant Micky McCoy. The heroic Micky McCoy. It's like they're reading from a script. Just listen to some of the clips floating around. There's one where a staffer says, "She hugged me," then pauses for half a second before adding, "And then we started crying." That tiny pause, it felt staged, like they were trying to remember their line. Candace said it best. She'd never call someone heroic for walking away from their friend after they got shot. That's not what real heroes do. And seriously, imagine if every time someone mentioned Tucker Carlson, they called him the spectacular Tucker Carlson. You'd instantly think something weird was going on, right? So why is Mikey the only one getting this over-the-top treatment? Why does everyone sound desperate to paint him as this perfect hero? Unless they're trying to control the story before the truth gets out. Now, zoom out for a second, because there's another layer here that hasn't gotten nearly enough attention. Some of the things Erika said in her Fox News interview, they raise questions nobody seems ready to answer. When Jesse Waters asked Erika if they'd caught Charlie's killer, she didn't say yes. Instead, she said, "I trust our team." That's it. No names, no confirmation, just trust. Then she mentioned seeing the autopsy report, talked about certain pieces of evidence being collected, and said something that gave everyone chills. "I want to see what they did to my husband." They. Not him. They. So who exactly is they? That question's been hanging in the air ever since, and Erika still hasn't answered it. Then Jesse pushed again, asking if Charlie being shot right after speaking about trans violence was just a coincidence. Erika didn't even hesitate. She said, "I don't believe in coincidences." And honestly, neither do I. Candace Owens has been digging into this case nonstop, and she's not holding back. She's called it straight up an inside job. She's been pointing out every inconsistency, every strange reaction, and every shifting detail that just doesn't line up. And she's saying exactly what tons of people are thinking. This feels bigger than just one shooter. We already know Charlie was shot on stage. We know Mikey's reaction didn't make sense. We know the timelines are a mess. We know Mikey's wife allegedly leaked messages hinting that people knew something beforehand. And now, every single person connected to it has gone silent. It's like the louder the questions get, the quieter they become. And that silence is starting to sound like the answer no one wants to say out loud. That's way too many coincidences for someone who claims not to believe in them. So here's where we stand. Micky McCoy calmly walked away right after his friend got shot. He still hasn't released his call logs. Everyone at TPUSA keeps calling him a hero for walking away. Erika's allegedly trying to silence the one person who might hold the truth, and the woman who leaked those messages, she's completely vanished. So what's really happening here? I don't have all the answers, but somebody out there definitely does. The silence, the forced smiles, the perfectly scripted interviews, it all feels way too polished, like a cover-up wrapped in good PR. Maybe one day, when the truth gets too heavy to hide, someone will finally come forward and spill what really went down. Not in a press release, not in a podcast, but from someone who was there. Someone who saw it all unfold and can't carry that silence any longer. Until that day comes, we keep asking questions, we keep digging, because the moment we stop, that's when the truth disappears for good. So tell me, what do you think is happening here? Do you buy the official story, or does this feel way deeper than they're letting on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe for updates, and share this video so more people can see what's being hidden. Let's keep the conversation alive because silence helps no one.